Hello and welcome to Wedding Wednesdays with Weddings Online. My name is Kelly and I'm a former wedding planner and blogger, and I'm obsessed with weddings. If you're planning a wedding in Ireland, you're in the right place. You're going to learn the tried and tested methods to planning your dream wedding without the added stress. Think of this as your one-stop shop for everything to do with planning your wedding in Ireland, with me, your new wedding planning bestie, and a cup of tea. This is Wedding Wednesdays with Weddings Online. Well, hello and welcome to a brand new episode of the Wedding Wednesdays with Weddings Online podcast. Today we're talking all about little wedding luxuries that make a huge difference. Now, when I talk about luxuries, I'm not talking about the extravagant spending. I'm talking about things that are usually a little bit more affordable, and that's why they're called little luxuries, but they have a big impact. In fact, the last thing on the list today is actually free. It doesn't cost you anything, but it is a game changer. It's probably the biggest luxury, bigger than anything, and it's free. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk you through these little luxuries and why they make a big difference, why you should consider incorporating them into your big day. And the last one, it's actually a game changer, and it's a non-negotiable that you should be including it in your big day. But let's get started. The first one is your getting ready attire. Now, it is completely worth splurging a little bit on that bridal robe, that personalized hanger for the morning of your wedding. You'll end up with some really beautiful wedding photos, just of you and your girls getting ready on the morning of your wedding. Like, what could be more special? And as a bonus, you'll have some lovely keepsakes, things that are just going to bring back all those memories. I highly recommend getting something super cute to wear. And you know what I mean? Those personalized robes that have your name on them, or, your wedding date. You could get different, hangers for each of the girls. There's so many things that you can do that are super cute, and they're not going to cost you loads and loads of money. That's why it's a little luxury, but it makes a big difference to how much fun you have on the morning of your day. Okay, the next one, welcome drinks. Now, this is more for the experience of your guests than anybody else, but the experience of your guests really is a huge factor when it comes to thinking about, where you should put a little bit more money, whether it's a splurge or a little luxury like this. Have a glass of something that your guests can enjoy when they arrive for your ceremony. It could be, two options, an alcoholic and a non-alcoholic option, or it could be something as simple as glasses of water with lemon in them. Doesn't have to be extravagant, but just something to acknowledge the fact that your guests will have probably driven far to be there. And if you're getting married in a warmer month, they're probably going to be quite warm. And for them to wait until after the ceremony to have something to drink, it's not great. So give them something that they can enjoy when they arrive for your ceremony. Okay, here's another little luxury that everybody will love, and that is the late night snack. So this again is really more for the experience of your guests. Think about how you felt when you've been at a wedding or an event and you've been dancing all night, you've been having loads of fun, you've probably had a lot to drink as well, but it gets to a point where, you just reach your saturation point and you just don't have the energy, you're flagging and you want to keep going because they're playing amazing music, but you just don't have the energy or the stamina to keep going. That is where the late night snacks come in. They're going to help your guests to push through. And if you want to be partying until the early hours of the morning, you want to make sure that you're giving your guests a reason to keep going. So those late night snacks are going to be so helpful. So whether they are tater sandwich packs or a popcorn bar or late night pizza, your guests are going to love it. And so will you. You'll thank yourself. You'll thank your past self for thinking about the late night snacks. Okay, here's another little luxury, and that is a wedding planner. Now, you might be hearing this and going, you know what, this is not a little luxury, this is a big luxury, and I cannot afford it. And I understand why people think that, because I think there can be a bit of a stigma around, how much wedding planners cost and what they do, and people tend to view them as a luxury. And I recognize for a lot of couples that is the case. But I really do recommend investigating. So before making the decision that you can't afford a wedding planner, think about it. Do your research. Find out how much they cost and see if you actually can afford one. Wedding planners will, they give you great recommendations. So they'll take the stress out of finding suppliers because you'll tell them who you're looking for and they'll give you recommendations. They can also alleviate the stress in general because they'll know that they're not going to forget things because they've got a good timeline that they're working with. But many wedding planners can get discounts on other suppliers and ultimately end up paying for themselves in the discounts that they're getting. So don't disqualify yourself from having a wedding planner. And as a kind of backup option, which is just a great thing to do, is to have a day of wedding coordinator or to get a wedding venue that comes with a coordinator. So at least you know that on the day, you've got the luxury of having somebody take care of everything for you. So you're not the one looking at your watch thinking, what time does the first speech need to start? Like, it's not happening yet. Someone else is doing all of that for you, and you don't need to be thinking about the running of the program for the day because you're just enjoying being married. Okay, this is another little luxury, and this is one that I actually did, and that is to have a signature wedding scent. Now, you may have experienced this before, but there's actually a name for a scientific, it's a scientific term called the Proustian moment, and that's where a sensory experience triggers a memory. So if you have memories of, being on the beach in the summer, on your holidays as a child, those memories may come to the surface every time you smell sun cream. Now that definitely happens for me. When I smell sun cream, I think about, swimming in my grand's pool, and, I think about summer memories. Now the same thing can happen if you have a signature scent. So I was given a perfume by my mother when I was engaged, and I would put on that perfume whenever we did wedding planning things. So, when we were assembling wedding invitation packs, when we went wedding venue hunting, when we just did different wedding related things, I would wear that perfume. And at different points in the engagement, I would wear it as well, engagement party and hen party and all the rest of it. And then on the day, I wore it as well. And when I smell that smell, I'm taken back to that wedding planning journey and the day and all the memories. And it's such a special thing, and it's so easy to do. Have a perfume that you just wear when you're doing wedding related things, and for years to come, you'll bring back all those fond memories. I highly recommend it. Okay, here's another luxury that's going to have a very big impact, and that is beautiful lighting. Now, lighting can set the mood for the day, and you can make a small purchase that has a very big impact and put the focus on your lighting. So it could be loads and loads of fairy lights. It could be festoons. I know my husband loves festoons, and they have such a big impact. It could be mirror balls or uplighting, or a focus on having candles. Pick the ones that you want to focus on. You don't have to do all the lighting everywhere, but just pick the things you want to focus on, and then go big. And I'm telling you, you'll spend a little bit of money on a lot of lighting, and it will have a very big impact. Something like uplighting, like one small light can light a huge wall in, your wedding color. And it just adds something really special, and it's not a lot of money for the amount of impact that you're going to get. Okay, here's another one. A coffee van. Now, this is another thing for your guests to enjoy, but you will also get to enjoy this. So imagine right after the ceremony, you and your guests are out of the ceremony venue, everybody's congratulating you, you're about to look ahead towards the, reception time and the party that's to come. But having a coffee van with gourmet coffee and tea and hot chocolate and some treats is such a special thing that the guests are going to love, and so will you. It's going to be a lovely pick-me-up for that part of the day where, energy might be a little bit low because people haven't eaten yet. But it's just a cozy touch, and it's something that people who love coffee and tea will just really, really appreciate. Okay, we've got 4 more items, 4 more little luxuries to go. The next one is wedding favors. Now, I always recommend that you invest in something that your guests are going to enjoy. So think about how many wedding favors you might have received that you got them and you thought, I'm either going to leave this behind or I'm just going to throw it away when I get back because I don't want this random thing with someone's name and wedding date on it. But think about something that they're actually going to enjoy. Something edible is usually a really good option, especially if it's for guests who aren't particularly sentimental. Another good option is something like a printed photo from a photo booth, because it's a lovely memory. It's something that can be stuck on the fridge. Your guests will enjoy looking at the photos for years to come. And it's just a lovely little luxury that people will enjoy. It doesn't cost you a lot of money. It's just a fun thing that the guests can experience, but it's you thanking them for being there. The next one will also have a big impact, and that is the bathroom basket. Now, we've spoken about bathroom baskets a little bit over the last few weeks. It's one of the tasks that you can get your friends and family to help you with. It's a thing that you don't need to do, but somebody can pull together some bathroom baskets. And if you've ever been to a wedding or event and you've gone into the bathroom and you've seen a basket that has deodorant and gum, tampons, painkillers, or hairspray, or whatever it is, you'll know why everybody loves them so much. There is such a relief when you're like, oh my gosh, I completely forgot to bring hair clips, but here they are in this bathroom basket. I can use them and I'm going to be fine. Your guests will love it. It's a little luxury, but it's something that will just help them to feel so comfortable and so looked after. Okay, the next two, or the last two, are really important. The final one is the game changer, but the one before it is very important as well, and that is to wear comfortable shoes. Now, if you have to make a choice between saving money and getting good, comfortable shoes, I always recommend getting the comfortable shoes. You can choose shoes that look amazing and also don't hurt your feet. So spare yourself the tragedy of having sore feet for your entire wedding day and remembering the day for all the wrong reasons. And go with this little luxury, which is shoes that look good and are comfortable. And I have spoken over the last few weeks as well about something you can do if you buy shoes and you realize they're uncomfortable. So you can wear them in, but you can do the hairdryer trick, which is to wear thick socks, then jam your feet into your shoes, and then take your hairdryer and in all the parts of the shoes that pinch your feet, apply a little bit of heat, and the shoes will start to feel a little bit less tight and they'll hurt your feet less. Obviously, you don't want to wear the thick socks on your wedding day. This is what you do before the day. But you could also spare yourself the hassle of just getting shoes that look good and are comfortable already. And the final one, this is the biggest luxury of all, but it will cost you nothing. And that is time. Take a few minutes to enjoy your wedding with your partner. So many couples say this. So many couples say the day flies by, but they recommend that you take a moment, just you and your partner, to just sneak away and just enjoy being married. You could stand and kind of look at where your guests are and say, oh my gosh, we did it. We got married. We planned this wedding. Everyone's having a great time. You could sneak even further and it's just the two of you, but just have a moment to enjoy the wedding together. Earlier in the day, you can ask your mum to help you put your veil on. And then instead of rushing through that, just take a few extra seconds to soak it all in together and just be mindful. Like, it's my wedding day. I'm going to walk down the aisle soon. My mother's with me. This is so special. Take selfies with your siblings and don't rush it. You'll have the selfies as memories, but just enjoy that moment of just being with them and celebrating together. And there'll be so many other moments just like that, where instead of going through the motions and rushing from one thing to the next, you can just pause, even just for a few seconds, and just be like, I'm here. This is my wedding, and this is amazing. It's going to be an incredible day, and you don't want to fly through everything. You just want to take some pauses and just go, this is my wedding, and it's great. Well, hopefully you've enjoyed that list of little luxuries, and you can think of some little luxuries of your own, things that are not extravagant purchases, but they are things that cost a little bit of money, or in this case with the time one, they cost you nothing, but they have a big, big impact either in your experience of the day or the experience of your guests. Well, thank you for listening today. The Wedding Wednesdays with Weddings Online podcast is produced by me, Kelly, and mixed, mastered, and edited by Glenn Hartman. For more wedding planning tips, advice, checklists, and more, visit weddingsonline.ie.